Welcome to Race and Rally into 2021. So today we're going to focus on rallying, and we've spoken to three of the UK's classic rally organisers: Hero, Rally the Globe and Bespoke Rallies. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to a rather unshaven Tony Jardine from Hero at their swanky new headquarters at Bicester Heritage.
Thank you, Sarah. We are very motivated and very enthusiastic about the season ahead in 2021. But as you can imagine, there's been a lot of adapting going on, a lot of moving and changing of the calendar, a huge amount of work going on behind the scenes, so we can get a lot of rallying in the season ahead. And we want to run safe rallies according to the COVID regulations, Motorsport UK regulations, which we did in 2020. 5 events were run, the last of which was here at the Bicester Heritage Centre on the Per Ardua ad infinitum on December the 19th, and 70 crews had an absolute ball. And that's what we hope they're going to do in 2021. So let's ask Brian White, who's a head of operations at Hero ERA. In the new calendar that you've put out, Brian, there's Hero Challenges on there. They seem very, very popular. Why is that?
Well, I think it's the format. They're one-day events. People can turn up literally on the morning, do a competitive event and get home that evening.
And what about for people who want to brush up their skills? Can they go and do a Hero Challenge?
Yeah, I think that's the appeal to it. Is that if you're a complete novice, you can turn up and have a lot of fun. If you're an intermediate, there's a challenge there for you, and you can learn. And even if you're an expert, there's a very competitive top to it. So yeah.
So you've got the one-day events. What about the longer ones?
Longer ones start off with something like the Summer Trial, 3 days. Go up to the Mods, which is 5 days. Later on in the year, we move on to the Sahara Challenge, which is seen as a practice for the Peking to Paris 2022. And then we've got 3 weeks of endurance rallying on the Lima to Cape Horn towards the end of the year.
Cool, that's going to be a big adventure, isn't it?
That's an out-and-out adventure.
Are there any places left on that one?
I think the entry is pretty full. If you fancy having a go, it's worth joining the wait list.
Right, amongst the many things that you look after under operations, you have the Hero store, but you also have Arrive Drive. Now, thinking towards the end of the year, RAC Rally the Tesla job. Come over here this way. I'm going to put it to you. You've got to hire a car for the job. Is the 911? Is this the one that's going to win?
I think it's going to be at the top of your list. It's more to do with the crew than the car, but I think Porsche 911 it's a head turn. I think you'd be pretty much near the top of my list.
But if I want to hire a Mini, I can?
Yep, Mini, a Volkswagen, a Lancia, a Fiat, the list goes on, but yes, you can.
So it's pretty comprehensive in that respect. And does this mean that you can actually tailor a programme for somebody who doesn't have the time to organise everything?
Yeah, I think that was one of the sort of ideas with the Arrive and Drive, that somebody could approach Hero ERA, hire a car and choose an event to compete in. Likewise, if you've already got a car, perhaps it's not in the UK and you want to do a UK European event, you could hire one of our cars. So it's an attractive package, a one-stop shop.
Can you assure people that the events are going to be COVID safe?
Well, we've delivered 5 events during the pandemic that complied with Motorsport UK regulations, our governing body, and also met with the government regulations at the time. We've enhanced those now going forward, and we're confident that all our events will more than comply, yes.
What if you have to postpone an event for any reason? Can people get their money back?
Well, I think excuse me. I think we've had a quite a bit of experience of that over the last year. 11 events have been cancelled, postponed, or withdrawn. The people who wanted to move their money to the new event have, and the people who wanted a refund, we're happy to say we were able to do that as well.
So anybody wants to find out about all this information about the events or hiring a car, where do they go?
Our website, www.hero-era.com, and they can find out the store, hiring a car, all our events and our membership program.
So there you are, Sarah. Before I hand back to you, just a quick note that everything is ready here at Hero ERA, and we're very hopeful that the first event will be kicking off in May, and we look forward to seeing people who might be on our events or want to come and see us. Have a great season.
Thanks very much for that, Tony. I'm loving the lockdown beard, and I can confirm that green Porsche is a joy to drive, so I would highly recommend getting in quick there. Next up is a man who has sat alongside some of the greatest names in 80s rallying. He's won 5 World Championship events. It's Fred Gallagher, race director at Rally the Globe.
Timing-wise, it wasn't maybe the ideal time to launch a brand new company with a global pandemic sort of 18 months down the line. But incredibly proud that with a small team and newly set up club that we organised Carrera Iberia at the end of 19, and this time last year in 2020, February and March, we were on our Southern Cross Safari event. Both of those went tremendously well. Great feedback from competitors. And as I say, really, really proud of what we did. Of course, you could always improve things, but the feedback was massively good. And of course, we intended to carry on in the same manner, but then COVID got in the way. We have made decisions early, and certainly every decision we've made so far, the timing seems to have been good. We decided quite early in the pandemic that going outside Europe was definitely going to be off the cards for the next couple of years, even Europe looking difficult. So we retreated back into a UK program of small events where we have flexibility. So we're running what we call clover leafs. They're going to be limited to 12 cars. We're going to have a single place to stay, which will be exclusive to us. So we have all kinds of flexibility with dates and so on. We'll be able to social distance. So we're hoping to run 2 of those in Yorkshire in the spring this year, and 2 in the West Highlands later in the spring, early summer.
So those clover leaf events, which is a new thing, isn't it, that you've kind of adapted quite quickly for the current environment. They're just members only events, aren't they?
They are members only. As I say, limited to 12 cars. They are all full, or maybe have one place left, I think, on the second Scottish West Highland Cloverleaf. But the format has been incredibly popular. And
cars up to 86, is it?
Yeah, we 76 on those, which is our normal cut-off date. When we run the Generations Rally next year, which, as the name suggests, is for fathers, daughters, mothers, sons, whatever, uncles and nephews. On that, we're going to let in a category that we call young timers that will expand the range a little bit. But we are very much a classic and vintage organisation.
Yeah, so up to 76. And one thing I should just clarify for people is that your membership is lifetime. It's about £200 to join the club, isn't it? And it's a one-time fee. So once you've paid it, that's it. You're a member.
Yes, yeah. And we just want to have like-minded people who love their motorsport, love their old cars, and we're approaching 200 members at the moment, so that's a great basis for us.
I think it's a really good deal. And of course, you get a big bag of goodies as a member, and you get lots of communication, and you're part of the club. So, and you get first dibs to enter anything, don't you? All the rallies.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
And so I think the Cloverleaf events look great. I believe that they've been quite successfully booked up, haven't they? The first couple.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. I think we have 1 or 2 places left, as I said, but not very much. But if anybody is interested in coming along and joining us, get in touch with the office in Leeds. And
so later in the year, you've got the Highland Thistle, which has been rolled over from last year.
Yeah, yes. And that is based out of St Andrews in Scotland, goes all the way up to Inverness on the west coast. And that should be a terrific event. We're pretty confident, I must say, that Scotland will be open by September, and very much looking forward to getting back to regular rallying.
Yeah, no, it does sound like a great event, I must admit. And the Carrera Italia, you've got that in October. I guess that's a fingers crossed. You're hoping that we'll be able to leave the country by then.
Absolutely, yeah. We ran our first Carrera at the end of 2019, the Carrera Iberia in Spain and Portugal. The idea behind those events is that they're about 10 days long, the best hotels we can find, all asphalt. The initial one was won by an Aston Martin DB5, so those are the sort of cars that we're hoping to attract to those events. Great driving, lots of good experiences. We already have the race circuit at Modena reserved. We're going to the Pirelli test track just outside Milan. Lots of mountain passes, the Stelvio, the Gavia, the Dolomites, great hotels, Lake Como, Cortina d'Ampezzo, Verona.
Wow, yeah.
Tuscany, starting and finishing in San Remo, so quite easily accessible, and that has had lots of interest.
So we've reported on all of these events in Auto Addicts, and the Carrera ones, they're the slightly better hotels, aren't they? Sort of a bit more luxury, and you're not going on sort of through deep puddles and over dunes, and it's sort of quality roads as well, isn't it? So
absolutely, that is the ethos behind the Carreras.
You can take a decent car and it'll come back in one piece.
Yes, absolutely. Non-car damage. Not that we aim to damage people's cars anywhere, but if we do, for example, coming up our Ypres to Istanbul, we will have lots of gravel on that, lots of remote, exciting roads, which the Carreras have as well, of course. But we will look for the gravel on those sort of events.
Yeah.
And then when we go outside Europe with the road to Hanoi, which hopefully is early 23, again, lots of mountain roads, gravel passes. Just the most exciting stuff we can find.
Yeah, and I think you made a really good decision to push all of your long distance rallies way off into the future. So there's nothing planned for 2022?
2022, absolutely. We have the Generations Rally, as I said, which is based in the Lake District, which is going to be in March. Another Carrera exclusively in Spain, starting in Barcelona, finishing in Santander, using the wonderful mountainous roads in the north and northwest of Spain. Ypres Istanbul is going to be in June and July. And then a rally exclusively for pre-war cars, the vintage Dolomites. We're going to run in late September, early October 2022. So
you will be sort of hoping by next July that's your first kind of long distance rally again.
We managed to squeeze in a bit of reconnaissance. We got as far as the Czech-Austrian border during the summer, whenever things were possible, and we actually managed to recce all the high altitude parts of Carrera Italia.
Wow.
So we've done lots of work there, but we are absolutely mad keen to get back out there and continue the recce's.
So how are you doing your recce's now? Are you using Google Earth a lot?
Sitting at the dining room table here and with Italian maps and
right.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Google Earth, Google Street View, really useful.
Yeah.
For Ypres Istanbul, it's incredibly frustrating that Google Street View doesn't exist in Germany or Austria. And suddenly feel a great tool has been taken away.
Brilliant.
Yeah, these are going to be the best prepared recce's we've ever done.
Because you've got all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I'm hoping to join you on some of your rallies. And we'll certainly be reporting on them, that's for sure. But I applaud Rally the Globe for, you've been really open about refunding or rolling over, and and actually making that early decision makes a huge difference to competitors like myself, because you know whether you're preparing the car or you're moving things about, and so an early decision has been great.
We're very proud that we have made a full refund to everybody who's wanted it. Also very proud that a lot of people have faith in us and have left their deposits, entry fees, whatever, and rolled over to the postponed events or to future events. We luckily were very, very well insured through Chubb, and really we're in a very strong position at the moment. We have no worries that way whatsoever. And as I say, everybody who wants has been refunded. And we're just dying to get out there again.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, I would definitely recommend the Carrera Italia to anyone who's looking to do a sort of cozy style Millimiga without the long days and long nights. Just to definitely book it up.
There will be lots of great driving. I mean, don't it's going to be overly cozy. It'll be beautiful hotels of an evening, great camaraderie, great food, but there will be some tremendous driving as well.
But you won't be arriving at 11 o'clock at night.
No, we haven't, and we have no plans to ever rally after dark with Rally the Globe.
Okay, good. That's great news. Well, thank you very much. That's everything I wanted to hear. So, yeah, wish you all the luck with your planning and recceing from Google Earth. And I look forward to joining you.
Yeah, we look forward to having you with us.
Thank you very much. So there you have it, some cracking rallies to look forward to from Rally the Globe there. And then next up, we speak to Chris Brigden at Bespoke Rallies, who will be telling us a little bit more about their virtual marshalling system, which has been 3 years in development.
Outside of the lockdowns, we've been using our time wisely at Bespoke Rallies. We have 4 events in the calendar for this year, 2 of which are brand new. 2020 started really well with our first ever Sri Lanka rally, a small touring event throughout this beautiful island. We expected the forthcoming virus to have little effect on our summer schedule. Our Imperial Rally, which is a month-long endurance event through 10 European countries, has now been postponed until June 22. The Great Amazon Adventure was due to return for its 3rd outing with a new and exciting route. The rally has been rescheduled for October 22.
The Pyrenees 1000 is an event we usually hold in springtime, but of course with the problems of this year we've postponed it until September. This 4-day event will cover 1,000 kilometres all over the Pyrenean Mountains. A brand new route this time, which starts in Olite in Spain
and flags off from our base at the Parador Hotel in the town's historic 15th century castle. On the first day we traverse the foothills of the southern Pyrenees before we climb to the mountain village of Viella, where we stay for the night.
From there we head across the mountains, over the passes, reaching 2,500 metres. Beautiful scenery in the Pyrenees with some of the most fantastic roads in all of Europe. We finished the second day in Pau in France.
After a breathtaking day of driving through high mountain passes, remote villages and the occasional gravel section. On the final day we cross the range back into Spain and finish in Olite for dinner and prizes at the wonderful Parador Hotel.
The competition will be held across multiple classes. We have a vintage class, which is pre-war, and various classes depending on which classic car and your engine size.
The rally runs on quiet roads to avoid upsetting the locals and to add to the challenge for the co-driver.
The Highland 1000 is another in our competition series events.
We drive Scotland's most stunning landscapes and experience some of the best mountain, moorland and ocean views that Britain has to offer.
It starts just to the west of Glasgow in a beautiful historic Marshal 5-star hotel.
From there the rally heads for the coast, and on the first day we use 2 short ferries to reach some of the lesser travelled peninsulas of Coel and Kintyre, rallying through ancient woodland. Over the next 3 days we venture further north through the snow-capped Highland Glens before joining the road to the Isles for a trip to Isle of Skye and some of the most dramatic mountain scenery in the country. The rally finally makes its way back south through the Cairngorms, the majestic national park, for a well-earned rest in the beautiful surroundings of the Norton House Hotel and Spa.
The Highland 1000 runs in September this year.
For the novice, it's a great introduction to historic regularity rallying, and for the more experienced driver, it provides a great opportunity to brush up on old skills or shake down your car for a longer event.
It's a brand new event, the Pennine 1000. It's a 4-day competition rally across the backbone of Britain.
This thrilling 4-day event will see us rallying across the hills and mountains of northern England, taking in stunning scenery of the Pennines, Yorkshire Dales, the Cheviot and the southern uplands of Scotland. Unfolding over 4 days in June, This stunning journey through the UK's longest mountain range is sure to reignite your sense of adventure and rekindle your love of the great British countryside.
This November, we've got a new event outside of the United Kingdom. We're doing the Grand Tour Canaries, a 19-day island hopping tour over this interesting archipelago just off the western coast of Morocco.
This dramatic group of volcanic islands combine the familiarity of European roads with a subtropical climate and some awe-inspiring scenery.
The 7 islands that we visit all offer something a little bit different.
We hop between the familiar destinations of Fuerteventura, Lanzarote, Gran Canaria and Tenerife before heading westwards to the lesser known islands. This secretive corner of the archipelago provides a world of calm and tranquility with its untouched beaches, traditional harbours and sleeping fishing villages. Switchback roads wind their way across the crater-encrusted landscapes, providing panoramic views in all directions. The Grand Tour Canaries is a 19-day adventure that covers all 7 of the islands in the archipelago. Hit the road this November the 2nd for a new take on the Canaries experience.
The Virtual Marshal is a bespoke app that we have built over the last 3 or 4 years.
It is designed to give greater control and accuracy over competitive motorsport events. The user interface is slick and simple. The view can be changed from the timer showing the split timings recorded as the car passes through each gate to a map view which shows the position of all cars on the rally and the route ahead. It also enables contact-free marshalling on any route anywhere in the world.
Well, that wraps up part 1 of Race and Rally into 2021, but we'll be back tomorrow with part 2 and 3, where we talk to a number of different race organisers about their events coming up, and Hugh Chambers from Motorsport UK.
Lombard Rally Bath, the UK's first historic rally car tour to incorporate special stages, returns once again in October 2021. In anticipation of this year's event and to celebrate 45 years since the first Bath-based Lombard Rally, the organisers have now added 2 new one-day events in Northumberland and Bradford. For more details, visit lombardrallybath.co.uk.